All right, we are live. What is going on, my friend? My name is Brian Olenek, and I'm going to share with you guys some things that are based on your consciousness. I'm going to share with you how to actually create a prosperity consciousness, and this is what I've used. This is what I've personally done to do this, because going back about 2 years ago, I was in a place that there was no prosperity in my life. There was no abundance. There was no, positive thinking consciousness. All the thoughts in my head were negative. Everything in my life seemed to be negative. I was never getting the results that I wanted. I was working about 50 hours a week in a restaurant baking. I had worked from dishwashing to being a baker, and I had more bills coming in at the end of the month than I did have money, and I didn't have the lifestyle I wanted to provide to my family, didn't have the time I wanted to spend with my family, and it was really dreading. It was probably my lowest point in my life where I was questioning things. And how did I get out of that? That's really what I want to share with you from my personal experience. What ended up happening was I started to question everything, all right? And I would say this was the first stage, questioning things, questioning, do you have to do things in a certain way? Do you have to do things this way? Do you have to be like everyone else? And, I don't know what your vision and idea of prosperity is. I'm going to reflect my idea of prosperity, which is time freedom, financial freedom, being able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. That's my idea of prosperity and prosperity consciousness. So when it comes to this, what ended up happening was I just started to question everything. From that point on, I started to question, what I could do, what I couldn't do, what I was really, put on this earth to do. And then I was led, all right, this is funny because after questioning, it's funny, your mind, when you're asking your mind to question, you're repeating yourself over again, your mind has a servo mechanism in it, kind of like a missile that is locked onto its target. It'll follow wherever it has to go to find that target that it's locked onto, and you can't see it when it launches off, but it goes straight to its target. Those heat-seeking missiles or those locked-on missiles, it will find it, it will deviate its course, and it will end up getting there. And so it's got a servo mechanism in the rocket, and your brain, it's kind of got the same thing, kind of like a servo mechanism. And asking myself questions, what ended up happening was I started searching on the internet, started going across YouTube videos and blog posts, and ended up coming across a person who in my area of life was doing something I wanted to do. They were building a business and an income on the internet, okay? I'm not telling you have to do this, okay? But just understand the principles behind this and how you can incorporate it in your life, in your workplace to create a prosperity consciousness. What ended up happening, I came across this individual who had this lifestyle, and it made me question everything even more because they had a lifestyle of time freedom, money freedom, leverage, travel when they want to, not have to put their daughter through daycare. They literally didn't have anything holding them down from creating a dream lifestyle. And because they had that, I questioned things even more about what I was doing in my workplace and my occupation and why I wasn't out there doing what they were doing, why I wasn't out there doing the things that they wanted to do. And what ended up happening was instead of blaming myself and burdening myself for, lack of money, lack of resources, lack of this, lack of that, I started looking at why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Why can't I do all these things? Okay, how can I? All right, the why is turned into how can I do this? How can I do that? What could I do differently to do those things? And I started to begin to think, and how it began to go from negative dwelling, focusing on the past. I was always focusing on the past and my past accolades, which weren't really accolades. They were just horrible things that happened. And as in, dreams and then putting off my dreams, I decided to chase my dream. I decided to, at the time, just start reading books, start listening to audios. I started to, in my downtime, instead of listening to the radio, I started to listen to people who are getting the results that I wanted. Specifically, this individual who's living this lifestyle, started listening to their tapes, audios, and cassettes, and obviously not cassettes, but you get what I mean. And I started listening to their material, people who are getting the results that I wanted. And what ended up happening was a funny thing happened. I began to model and copy and almost kind of mimic what this individual was doing. And it went from self-doubt at first, not believing I could get any results, to being able to start believing. And I did this through a period of time. Like, it didn't happen overnight, guys. I hope if you get anything out of this video, you don't have to build a business online. You don't have to have, any type of business or sales experience or anything like that, okay? But what happened was, all right, I started questioning things, all right, and then asking how I could do it. So I started questioning, asking how I could do it. My mind led me to a person who was doing it. all right? I had self-doubt that I could do it, okay? But listening to this individual, listening to other people getting results, listening to like Tony Robbins tapes, and turning off the television, turning off the radio, not listening to my favorite songs anymore, all right? Being able in my downtime, listening to this information when I'm sleeping, listening to audios, because your subconscious mind picks up on those things subconsciously when you're sleeping, all right? So I knew the power of the subconscious mind, and I just started feeding my mind day in and day out, 24/7 nonstop with this stuff, and it took me from getting no results, all right, in 3 months to creating a full-time income business on the internet working part-time, all right? From self-doubt, self-pity, not believing in myself, to being able to create results where I was able to quit my job in 3 months. Not average, not typical results, but I went from dwelling, negative, questioning, can I do it? How can I do it? Then finding a person, not having the belief in myself, to being able to create a positive mindset by listening to people who are getting the results that I want on a daily basis throughout 21 days and past 21 days. I did it every single day for 90 days, and 90 days later, I was able to create those results, which are not average or typical. But if you get anything out of this video, it's consistency and how serious you are. All right, how serious you are and the consistency that play is going to determine your prosperity consciousness. All right, before I was listening to the radio, listening to the news, listening to broke people. I had a lot of broke people in my life, always complaining about money, how things are expensive, how they can't afford this over that. And, I was talking just like them. I was saying the exact same verbiage, and I was mimicking exactly what they were doing. And I got around this individual virtually, and I got around what I could, just with my resources, get around these individuals and listening to their tapes and audios, soaking in their information. I was able to start picking up on their habits and their thought patterns, and I was able to translate that into a result that didn't take me from 0 to 6 figures like some of these people building a 6-figure income on the internet. But it took me from where I was at to being able to pick up on a prosperity consciousness level that was higher than a level than I was already playing right here, poverty mindset. I was able to elevate myself up here, and I was able to, create a fraction of that person's results that I was listening to by quitting my job, all right, by creating a full-time income in the process. So I hope this helps you guys out. You can apply these principles and concepts in any form and fashion. I know some of you are going to have to watch this video a second time, but this is really, how I was able to create a prosperity consciousness, and how you can too. Whether you're working in a pharmaceutical job, whether you're working as a lawyer, a doctor, you're stressed out, all right, question things. How can you do it? What could you do differently? All right, your mind will start searching for things. You might come across a person, and then you might, doubt yourself that you can do what they're doing. And then you might just take action, start listening to what they're doing, modeling what they're doing. And through a period of time, it doesn't take any longer than 90 days, you could be getting those results that you want and already have a prosperity consciousness. But it doesn't happen overnight. You got to be consistent with it, all right? Eliminate the things that don't give you positive thinking. Eliminate the things that are giving you negative thoughts in your life. Get out all the negativity. That's what I did. That was the big secret. So I appreciate you, my friend. Go out there, crush it. If you guys want to learn more information about how I was able to build a full-time income business on the internet, working it part-time, and just create prosperity and abundance in my life, not working a job, having someone tell me what to do, and how you can do this too, and also get introduced to my good friend and mentor who's making a 6-figure income doing this. Connect with me on my site. If you're coachable, you're willing to learn, willing to work, it's 123marketingtips.com. The link will be down below, and I will see you guys on the beach of the world. Take care.